So welcome back to our podcast. This week we want to talk about a subject that is very close to our hearts and something that we've been working on actually for nearly 3 years, and it's finally coming to fruition. We're in the final stages of it, and it's developing our Cinch AF. So Cinch alcohol-free 30-day challenge, and I guess this was born out of, when we've developed the Cinch Fast 30 challenge. It's all about intermittent fasting. We've had so many amazing results, but one sticking point for so many people is alcohol.
Absolutely. And it is the habit that is so difficult to break, and the habit that can keep us in those bad habits and those bad cycles.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the first things that people ask us whenever they're signing up: can I still drink? Or what about drinking? And it's what really made us sit up and take notice was the amount of people who are actually addicted to alcohol, and that they think that it's a normal habit. And what we want to do is kind of break the stigma that you don't have to drink alcohol to have a good time, that you are good crack, and kind of educate people on why we shouldn't be drinking alcohol all the time. And it's not about completely becoming a teetotaler or abstaining. It's about improving your relationship with alcohol and educating yourself to know what the dangers are, and know how to live a balanced life. And I guess that's what the whole Cinch ethos is.
It is, and I think, yes, with alcohol, especially, I suppose wine, everybody seems to be, at the end of the day, oh, let's have a wee glass of wine.
Yeah, they've glamorised it.
And they have totally glamorised it and made it this thing which is just used to relax you. So, we're having a nice dinner. Oh, we'll crack open a bottle of wine. And you very rarely stop at one glass of wine. Usually if you open, that cork comes out, or that lid is unscrewed, that bottle's gone.
You're going to be in denial. You only have a glass a night. Do you mean 2 or 3? And there's so many people.
What size is that glass?
Yeah, there's so many people in denial. And because it's become such a socially acceptable habit that, and we're only now seeing the dangers of it, and that, the government coming out and saying things like, but years ago that they didn't know this, in our mum and dad's generation. And there is a real problem with that generation. And particularly as people get older, they're using it as a social crutch. They're using it to combat loneliness. And it's only exasperating the problem.
It definitely does. And yes, what we found, like personally, whenever I go out, and it is tough whenever you're going out with friends, and they're going, all right, we'll get a bottle of wine, and you kind of get that wee dread in your tummy, don't you? Kind of go, I don't really want to drink tonight.
Yeah, it starts with me when they say, I'll pick you up in a taxi, and you're like, I don't want to get a taxi, I just want to drive. But you don't want to be that person to go, because then they go, oh, wise up, sure, just leave your car. And it's like,
so the pressure they put on you to drink,
it's terrible. And I usually do just give in, because I can't be bothered with the whole pressure. But 9 times out of 10 I do just want to bring the car and get home when I want and have a good night's sleep, and not waste.
It is really tough. And so whenever the wine comes to the table, and then you don't even know how much you're drinking, because people are topping your glass up, and you're thinking, I'm going, okay, well, I'll have 1 glass, or I'll have 2 glasses, and the next thing you know, the bottle's away, another bottle's being ordered, and your glass is being topped up and topped up. Next thing you're home, you feel a bit yucky, you get into bed, the room's maybe starting to spin a wee bit, you think, oh God, and then you wake up in the middle of the night with palpitations.
The fear of God, and you're worrying about stuff that happened, what did I say, or worrying about something that happened at work during the week. And it's that kind of, it gives me like a mild depression. I wake up then in the pit of doom, had a rubbish night's sleep, had the palpitations in the middle of the night, I'm starving, and craving all the sugar and salt.
Really irritable as well. The kids maybe come in and go, oh, right, what are we doing? And you're going, oh my God, just take your iPad and disappear for an hour.
It totally ruins the next day, and all your plans, and all your eating plans. And that's why that vicious cycle of weight gain happens with drinking.
And that's why when we talk about, when people sign up to the Cinch Fast 30 and they say, can you drink alcohol? Well, yes, you can drink alcohol.
You can do whatever you want.
Is it going to affect your results? Yes, 100%. You will not get as good results if you drink alcohol.
As well as that, it'll also affect your mindset. So as we've said before, mindset is a huge part of weight loss, and it's one of the main focuses of the Cinch Fast 30. When your mindset is strong, you feel like you can move mountains. You're going to stick to your eating plan. You're going to stick to the gym class that you said you were going to do. You're going to inspire others. You're going to stay on plan. When your mindset is weak, you're going to give up at the first hurdle, first sign of weakness.
First glass of wine, and then suddenly you're going, you know what, I will just get those wee garlic chips, and I will just get that pudding, and maybe, oh, do you fancy a wee cheese board as well?
Yep.
Oh, yes, sure, get the cheese board.
Totally.
And the next thing, all your good intentions, where you were going to, you know, eat quite healthily, have gone out the window.
On day one of the weekend, and then you wake up the next day, you want to go to McDonald's for your breakfast, KFC for your lunch, you want to eat pizza for your dinner, and before you know it, Sunday has arrived.
Maybe another glass of wine to take the edge off.
Absolutely. So that's why that vicious cycle. When I started intermittent fasting 3 years ago, it was in the middle of lockdown, and I just decided to completely abstain from alcohol. I'm not much of a drinker anyway. It really affects my mood, my mental health. It affects everything. But I just decided not to drink. And I saw a massive difference. That vicious cycle of all weekend. I was only having one or two, but that was the effect it was having on me. Go, I get the crisps out if you're having the wine. Well, we order a wee Chinese, rubbish night's sleep, waking up, craving the sugar and the salt, and then a rubbish day's eating, same on Sunday. And that's why every Monday morning, I weighed myself, and it was just this vicious cycle. I'd lose a pound during the week when it was good Monday to Thursday, and I'd gain 2 over the weekend. So by abstaining, I completely saw a difference in everything. But it also made me realise I don't need it.
You're actually quite good fun, Angela, sober.
Turns out I'm all right. But yeah, it's remembering that you're good fun, and it's the social thing. You know, when you're invited to parties and things, you want a drink to take the edge off.
It is difficult. If you go into a social event and, you know, maybe there's a lot of people there and you're kind of going, oh gosh, you know, feeling a wee bit nervous or a wee bit of social anxiety.
That is the hardest part, but it's finding ways to overcome that and even stress. I remember in the early days, a few years ago when the kids were much smaller, and in the group chat somebody would go, right, is it wine o'clock yet? I got caught up in wine o'clock, and I would wait till 5 o'clock to have my glass of wine. But that just made me starving. Yeah. And so I would eat, you know, stuff while I was making dinner. So you're almost already.
Yeah, I think that was a massive thing with COVID as well.
Yeah.
Because nobody was working. Everybody was just. And the weather, do you remember the weather was glorious? You know, it was full on sunshine every day.
Yeah, it was like a holiday. Yeah, barbecues.
Like, get the wine open. And that's why so many people put on weight over COVID.
Yeah, and that mental health did a massive decline because it really does affect your mental health. Drinking, you know, you think that it's something, oh, it's going to put you in a good mood. It's a depressant. Yeah. It's going to make you have, yes, a little mini high, but it's also going to make you plunge, you know, down afterwards. And that was one of the reasons I completely, you know, I would maybe have 1 glass of wine a week and that would do me, but that was one of the main reasons was my mental health.
Yeah, definitely. And I think because now it is like drinking is massive.
Yeah, particularly where we come from in Ireland.
Massive. Like I remember, like growing up, you know, I think I was maybe about 14 or 15.
Me too.
And,
it's like a badge of honour. Yeah. Oh, I was so hammered at the weekend. Oh, what do you hear? What do you hear?
And thinking back now to it, oh my goodness, the dangerous situations that I put myself in.
It's terrifying.
Teenager, a young female, especially maybe with the being a female, I don't know.
Yeah, your daughter's now 14, imagine her.
Exactly. I think that's it. Nina's now 14 and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're not far off from when I started drinking alcohol, and it terrifies me. Yeah. Absolutely terrifies me.
The stuff that we got up to back in the day was like, it seemed innocent at the time. It was dangerous. We were out on our own. Yeah. You know, you lose your inhibitions. You're wearing next to no clothing from Tommy Girl, your little short mini skirts. It is terrifying, but it's become socially acceptable, you know, and that was just one of the things that we wanted to kind of highlight through doing this course. And again, we're not being preachy because we've been there, we've done it. Yeah, we've got the 6 coloured t-shirt, you know. Yeah. And it's just to try and educate people that it's actually...
There is another way.
There is another way. You are good crack. It is good fun.
And mostly alcohol is just a habit.
It is.
It's just a bad habit that you got to break. And I suppose what we always try to do is just ask people to question themselves about their relationship with alcohol, you know.
Is it positive? You know, that's what the first things we would say, like, well, do you want to drink for the month? Well, no, I really want to stop drinking. I've had enough of it. You know, well, there's the first hurdle, and we want to be that person's aid, hold their hand and go, well, you know what, take it one day at a time. Yeah. This is what I did. You know, you're not much of a drinker either, Nicola.
No, I've really reduced down my alcohol, and I can notice I suffered really badly with endometriosis, and I was finding that if I was drinking, the flare-up of my endometriosis was wild.
I remember when we used to come to visit you when you lived in France, we'd have big night on the booze, and the next day you'd be crippled in pain.
Crippled. Like it doesn't agree with me.
But it didn't stop us.
But it didn't stop. And the next weekend then you kind of go, okay.
Madness.
Right. You know, when you think back to it now, so No, I will still have a drink, absolutely. But I will have try to not drink wine where possible, and I'll have a gin and slimline, and I'll limit it to 2 drinks because anything after 2 drinks, it's no fun.
Yeah,
it's just no fun for me whatsoever.
It steals tomorrow's happiness.
It does, definitely. So yes, 1 or 2 drinks, and I try and do that maybe once or twice a month, something like that.
And then it's switching to, because your hand is used to that drink, it's switching to the sparkling water in a fancy wine glass. That was one of the little tools that we introduced into the group, and so many people have said, oh my goodness, that is, like, it's so simple.
Such a simple wee hack, I suppose.
Yeah.
But as long as you've got something in your hand,
you'll sip it all
put
night.
a few ice cubes in it, you know, and that's you away. You don't miss it.
Yeah, and particularly I think when people are doing intermittent fasting, A, to improve their health, B, to lose weight, or whatever way around they're doing it, to educate them, and then you're going to put a poison into your body.
Well, that's it. Like, alcohol is ethanol.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we put in our cars, you know.
It's terrifying.
It kills bacteria, good and bad, you know. So all those alcohol wipes and all the rest of it, that's to kill bacteria. Well, your wee body has lots of good bacteria in there, so whenever you're drinking alcohol,
your stomach lining and everything, it really hurts my tummy. That's another reason I don't like, right there in my middle, it just, I can just feel it like paint stripper. And it's trying to get people to tune into your body. Does it make you feel good, both mentally and physically? If not, do you need to maybe revisit your relationship with it? And that's where this whole idea of the Cinch alcohol-free challenge came out.
We want to make not drinking cool AF.
Cool as flip. So that is our mission. You know, when you're going to parties, bring the alcohol free, bring it with pride.
Totally.
Pour it with pride, and don't shirk away from it, because for years, you know, I've brought stuff to party. Oh, you're not drinking? No, but I'm drinking this wee trip drink. It's got CBD. So you make the new choice really fun, and people go, oh, like I met a girl at the weekend, and she was doing dry January, and she had the wee trip drink with her, and she goes, you got me onto those. Oh. So I was like, you know, you don't know the positive change that how you're affecting people, but it's finding alternatives. It's not saying, oh, I'm a teetotal and I'm judging you. We're not judging anybody.
Not at all. Say we've all been there, and yes, whenever. One thing is, whenever you go out with your friends and they're all drinking heavily, oh my God, they're hard to listen to. That's the only thing. Don't
tell them that you are not drinking. So if they're particularly peer pressure type people, you know, I've often gone to the bar and said, can I get two sparkling waters in a gin glass, loads of ice, bring the round over, and everybody's drinking their gin, and none the wiser.
Absolutely.
And they're happy enough. They're happy enough.
Don't tell anybody.
When you drive them home, they're your new best friend again.
Yeah. The only reason I used to make up excuse to say, oh God, no, I want antibiotics.
I know. It's the only drug you have to make an excuse not to drink. Oh, sorry, no. Oh, you're pregnant? What's wrong with you? You've changed. Yeah. No, I'm just honouring my body. Don't need to say those things. No, I'm just taking a wee break for a while. No, just not tonight.
And a big tip from people who do drink: if your friend says to you, "Oh no, I'm not going to drink tonight," just say, "Oh, good for you."
Back off.
Yeah. Do you want a wee sparkling water, or what can I get you from the bar? Don't give them abuse, or don't give them a hard time.
Don't give them the
third
degree.
What that person is going through, or the reasons for wanting to reduce their alcohol. So be a supportive friend.
Absolutely, yeah, and just be a listening ear. If you've noticed a friend that is maybe drinking more than, you know, encourage them for different events. You know, like, well, we'll go for a walk, or we'll go for a coffee. It doesn't always need to centre around alcohol.
And I think that's it. I don't know, in Ireland or I think it's maybe a UK and Ireland thing. It's not in France. Like, I lived in France for 7 years, and yes, they had 1 or 2 glasses of wine, but like, you never see a drunk French person.
Really?
And honestly, very, very rarely. They would have 1 or 2 glasses of wine with dinner, and that would be them done. Like,
they're not lying in a bush trolley.
They're not lying in a bush or thrown up over the hedge. No, they're not.
Yeah, no, it is frightening. It is a culture thing, and when you step away from it, and you realise, oh, I like feeling like this. I like having a good night's sleep. I like not feeling grumpy with the kids. It makes it very hard to not go back to it, but it's breaking that habit.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to try and educate people to do, and encourage with this 30-day challenge. We're going to be with you every single step of the way. We're going to tell you stories about our own personal journeys. We're going to educate you on actual medical journals about the actual perils of drinking.
They say if they put every health warning on a bottle of alcohol, there are literally hundreds of health warnings.
Yeah, it's
that
terrifying.
just wouldn't fit in the bottle, So
it's just being aware of these things that it's all glamorized and all these beautiful bottles. Or what do we have?
Yeah, wee rosé or a wee pink gin.
But the stats are just terrifying in terms of being linked to cancer, Alzheimer's. Depression's just the major one for me. That getting through the day when you've got brain fog because you had 1 or 2 drinks the night before, and that's the reality. If I had one, I'd be not on my A game the next day. So I really have to think, what have I got on tomorrow? And another wee tip is a great one, particularly now that we're intermittent runners, is I always plan something for the Saturday morning to stop me drinking on the Friday night. So people would go, oh, have one. No, I'm doing a big run tomorrow, so I'm grand. Honestly, I'm thinking, and that shuts most people up. And then they change the subject. Oh, tell me about the running. Well, intermittent running. So plan something for the next morning. It'll keep you in the straight and narrow, and it gives you an excuse as well if you feel the peer pressure.
Right. So just all we're trying to do is just encourage you to look at your own relationship with alcohol.
Yep.
If you think that you maybe have fallen into bad habits, just have a wee look at, trying to break that, because it's going to have a massive positive impact on your life and your well-being.
Exactly. And our alcohol-free course, it's nearly complete.
Oh, it's very exciting.
You can pre-register for it.
It's been amazing, right?
It has. We've really enjoyed it, and we've gone back to stories from our own childhood.
Terrifying.
It is the things we got up to.
Oh my gosh.
But we've enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed speaking to lots of experts along the way, and just sharing that knowledge with people, because I don't think people realise just
the dangers of alcohol.
Yeah, and so if you want to improve your relationship with alcohol, keep your eyes peeled. This will be out very soon.
We are making it
cool AF. We want you to join our tribe. So thank you very much. It's been a great episode. Brilliant. And we look forward.
And again, anybody, any messages of how they're getting on about reducing their alcohol or anything to do about alcohol, just give us a wee shout and let us know how you're getting on. Yeah, if you want to sign up to the course, you can do it on our website, cinchfast30.com, and you can register for that or the Cinch Fast 30 Challenge. We just wanted to help support people to live happier, healthier lives. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Bye.